The Christensen MHR. We saw this rifle at SHOT Show 2022 and it was immediately a hit for us, and in particular it was a hit for myself. I think that this rifle fills a variety of roles, and I'm here to tell you that this rifle 100% can hunt. How do I know that? We recently just got back from the state of Texas doing an out-edge sheep hunt in southwest Texas. Doing that hunt, this rifle managed to take out 3 out-edge sheep. I killed a nice ram myself, and then my 2 brothers actually ended up killing ewes. Very tough hunt, but enough about the hunt, and let's get into how this rifle is a little bit different, and ultimately why it may be a special rifle for somebody else. What sets the MHR apart from the rest of the rifles on the market is its ability to be a modular rifle, which what it stands for, the modern hunting rifle. This rifle is modular. This has a V-block bedding system inside of it. So the action itself, which is like a standard 700 type pattern action, sits inside a V-block bedding, which is similar to what Ruger does with the Ruger American, and some other manufacturers have gotten into it as well because it's a very, very, let's say, sure-footed bedding system that works really well and ensures accuracy. And then what that means with this rifle is that you can actually take everything off of this rifle and leave the action itself inside, let's say, your whole receiver set here, and change out your stock and change out your forend. You can put a different stock from what we have on here. You can put out, like, have like a hunter type stock that actually has a cutout that reduces some weight here on the rear. Then they have another set up here on the front that is, let's say, slimmer, and it's M-lock all the way across, and you can add all kinds of attachments to it. And you could take this rifle and even put a like a PRS type stock on the rear and turn it into a PRS type rifle, put all this stuff back on it and set it up in what I would think to be the perfect hunting configuration. Why do I think that this is a good hunting configuration? Is that this stock setup, how it is here, with their, let's say, this is like their first iteration of it. On the front here, there's actually a Picatinny rail where I'm able to mount my Atlas bipod on here. I don't have to go out, I don't have to buy a pick rail, add it onto a sling stud. I don't have to put it on a sling stud. It's a very, very solid mounting system. On top of that, just behind it, you have QD sockets on the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions. You see I have a sling attached to this rifle. There's QD cups all over this rifle. They've taken what is popular for PRS shooters and merged them into the hunting type market, and it's really nice to see because it gives you so many different options to set your rifle up how you want. The bottom half of the forend here is flat. It's thick, okay, but it's also not heavy because Christensen uses FFT technology, which is flash forge technology that reduces the weight on this rifle. This rifle, as it sits here with my bipod, my Vortex Razor 4.5 to 22 on here, is sub 10 pounds, okay? Tripod, we're not including that, okay? But the rifle itself is about 7.5 pounds with nothing on it. The scope's fairly light, bipod's light. I'm able to manage to get a rifle that shoots really accurately. It's easy to shoot, comfortable to shoot, and it is below 10 pounds, which is a wonderful number to be below if you want a good long range hunting rifle. The rear set here. For myself personally, I almost require a adjustable cheek piece for a hunting rifle. And why do I think that? When you have, say, a standard Monte Carlo type stock or a Sporter type stock, a lot of times you sacrifice getting a firm cheek weld when you're actually shooting your rifle. And if you're gonna go out and you're gonna shoot past 200 yards, which in this case, I actually ended up killing my out-dead ram at 472 yards. To do that with high winds and do that, you have to dial your elevation, you have to get a good cheek weld, and you have to be solid on the rifle. Everything has to be right to make that shot. And so with this rifle in particular, it has an adjustable cheek piece. I can go up and down with it as high as you want, or you can smash it all the way to the bottom if you don't want any elevation. Myself, I go like 1 click up, and it's just enough for me, okay? It works really well with that. Then the rear of the stock here has length of pull spacers, which you'll see that I just basically shot out of the factory for myself. It was perfect. The butt pad itself on this rifle is textured on the rear, so it's a non-slip type surface, but it has a good rubberized texture, so it's also soft on your shoulder. Now, when you come down here to your actual grip for the rifle itself, they have different iterations of this grip, which aren't quite available yet. However, they are coming to the market very soon. This is just what it comes with from the box that we got from Christensen. With this on here, it's a somewhat semi-vertical grip. It's very comfortable to shoot. It puts my hand in a very natural position. You get a smooth, steady trigger pull at 90 degrees straight to the rear. And you can, again, change these out for different, let's say, elevations or angles per se. Now on the trigger itself, it is a Trigger Tech trigger. The trigger is absolutely fantastic. I have this thing adjusted almost all as low as it will go, and it breaks crisp and clean. If you're familiar with Trigger Tech triggers, they're some of the best in the market, and I'm very glad to see that Christensen continues to use them on their rifles. This one here is somewhat flat-faced, so what's nice, in particular with this one here, is that when you're on the trigger itself, you're able to get nice and low and say even on the trigger, make your pull, and it breaks crisp and clean. There's no creep whatsoever, and I found this rifle to be very accurate in addition to having a nice, let's say, trigger on it. Now the bottom metal on here. This model has a trap door on it, or okay, the swing hinge type style. It doesn't have the drop box mag. You can actually add that to this rifle. You could do that, again, without taking action out. Simple fitting, no gunsmith required to do that. It's hinged floor plate, okay, snaps into place. Sturdy, no issues on there. This is a 6.5 PRC. So this model holds 3 rounds inside the magazine, and I had no issues with that. They're easy to load. You know, I didn't find myself fumbling with it whatsoever in the field when my hands were dirty, the rifle was dirty, or having any issues whatsoever loading, or let's say even, you know, shooting the rifle. Again, like I said, this rifle got very dirty, but because this bolt itself is a very smooth functioning bolt, it's a 700 type style, so you can expect, like I said, the throw on the bolt, it's a 90-degree throw, okay? So it's far, it's pretty standard when you're coming to 700 actions, unless you get into some like hybrid 60-degree ones, but it's very smooth on this rifle, good lockup. So far to date, I put about 100 rounds through this rifle, and today we will accuracy test it and show you guys how accurate it is. It shoots well below half MOA groups. I've had no issues doing that. Out of the box, it shot about, let's say, 3/4, cleaned it a little bit, shot it again, fouled it out, and now it shoots sub half. But through all those rounds, I've had no issues with ejections, no issues feeding or whatsoever. And even when we took it out to Texas, between myself shooting it, my brother shooting it, my older brother shooting it, we put close to, say, 10 rounds through this rifle through dirty conditions. It was covered in dust, and the action continued to run reliably. No issues seating rounds or anything like that, which was very nice to see, because at times, some actions, when they get dirty, there's issues that you have with actually, say, locking the bolt back down or actually seating rounds, and you have, let's say, problems with that. And you don't want that with a hunting rifle, because if you go out and do a week-long hunt, your rifle's gonna get dirty. It's gonna be extremely dirty and covered in all kinds of crud, and it needs to just work. So now what's special too with Christensen rifles in general is they do manufacture their own barrels. This is a stainless steel carbon fiber wrapped barrel. With the MHR, as opposed to some of their other barrels, this is a radial wrap on here. So it's not a cross-hatched carbon fiber. So it's radial all the way down. It's 22 inches, a 1 1/8 twist here on this PRC, the 6.5, and then you have this nice muzzle brake on the front. This rifle, the best way I can describe how this rifle shoots in 6.5 PRC and being lightweight, I would say it's equivalent to a 308 with a muzzle brake. It's not as light as a 6.5 with a muzzle brake, but it's not as heavy, or I'd say it's lighter than a 308 with a muzzle brake. And in fact, it shoots really well. It's easy to get back on target. It's easy to make follow-up shots. I witnessed two, let's say, less experienced shooters make follow-up shots on out-edge sheep on the run or on the move and make those hits and be able to find their target and everything like that through the scope easily. And I think a lot of that is due to the fact that the rifle itself is set up comfortably and it has a wonderful muzzle brake that does a really, really good job. Granted, it's extremely loud. When I went hunting, I do wear axial ear protection. So with those axial earbuds I wore, I snapped them in, turned them on, I'm able to hear normally and also protect my hearing. So this rifle, what do I think of it? If I had to choose one rifle to hunt with for the rest of my life, I'd be okay with this rifle. Do I think that it's for everybody? No, it's a $3,000 plus rifle. It costs, as this rifle sits here with all of my stuff on it, my scope, my bipod, you're looking at a $5,000 rifle, okay? That's a lot of money. However, it has the ability to be the last rifle you ultimately ever need. And you could choose a different caliber. They have every caliber you could ever want for hunting or say long range shooting. Christensen puts in all of their rifles. If you want a 6.8 Western, they have it. If you want 7 PRC, they have it. If you want 300 PRC, they have it. If you want 338 Lapua, they have it. If you want 300 Win Mag, 7 Rem Mag, name a caliber that's popular, that people are using to kill animals, and Christensen puts it in their rifles. And I think at some point, that's what sets them apart from some of the other manufacturers on the market, and that some of them don't run out all those long action calibers. And in fact, this rifle in particular, because it's so new, long action is a little bit harder to come by, and that's why we went with the 6.5 PRC. But after watching what 6.5 PRC did at 472 yards, 325 yards, and 220 yards, I have no issues thinking that it's a wonderful round for killing elk-sized game. Okay, the sheep are very tough animals. I watched a full frontal shot go front to back all the way through, clean pass through, and drop a sheep. So I think it's a very effective round. And if you guys are in the market looking for this type of rifle and you want to, let's say, splurge a little bit and get yourself a rifle that set up is a full package, not needing a single thing, not needing triggers, not needing any kind of adjustments on your butt pad, nothing like that, out of the box, ready to go, I think the Christensen MHR is for you. I know it is for me. If they're a little cheaper, I'd probably buy a couple of them, frankly, just because I'd want some other calibers. And I think that I'm going to continue to shoot this rifle. We were lucky enough to have conversations with Christensen and get this sent out to us before we went to Texas. And I honestly can't thank them enough, because the rifle itself is absolutely fantastic. If Christensen told me I had to pay them right now for this rifle, I say, where do I sign? Because I think it's a fantastic rifle. On the range now with the Christensen MHR. First up, I'm going to shoot Hornady Precision Hunter. This is what I actually use to go hunting. Just recently there in Texas for those out-ad sheep. After that, I will shoot Hornady Match, 147 grain ammo, and then I have Norma 6.5 PRC Golden Target, which is 143 grain. So, and that's not a polymer tip ammo like the Hornady stuff is. Currently, that 3-shot group, the ultimate ones with all my mechanics properly, I got 3 rounds touching right now down there on target. Absolutely fantastic group. Is shooting below a half MOA, and super happy with that. It's about what I expected. My zero looks like it might be up a touch, but overall it seems good. Zero's good. It's still well within what I would say acceptable for hunting, and I proved it with the hunting. But let the barrel cool down here just a touch, which you really don't have to do as much with your carbon fiber barrels because they help the cooling process and how they're designed. But we're gonna let it cool down a little bit. Then we'll shoot the 147 grain Hornady Match ammo, and then finally we'll finish up with the Golden Target from Norma. We're gonna shoot out of the Christensen MHR. It's gonna be Hornady Match. This is 147 grain ELD-M, their match ammunition. Let's see how it shoots. Me. So looking at that right now through the scope, I can tell you it does not, they certainly don't shoot as well as the Precision Hunter. In fact, I got like 2 kind of off to the right, 2 just above the bullseye per se. So we'll let the barrel cool down here a touch, then we're gonna run into the Norma Golden Match, 143 grain. So looking at our groups now between the Precision Hunter, the Norma Match, and the Hornady Match, the Precision Hunter ammunition is no doubt the most accurate out of the bunch. Next, I'd probably say the Hornady Match is probably next best, and then the Norma Match. All of them are well below sub MOA. I'd say 3/4 I'm getting on the Norma stuff. I'll throw all these up on Ballistic app or Ballistic X and actually see what they're actually measuring out at. However, I'll say right now the Precision Hunter hands down is the best shooting out of the bunch, which is what I assumed it would be because I had shot them before. So right down there, take a look at the target. We'll close this out for you guys. On target here, we have the Hornady Precision Hunter. I shot a 3-shot group. Actually, do that one was gonna be a flyer. Down here is your match ammunition, and then here's your Norma Golden Target. So again, like a 1/4 inch group here, 1/2 inch group here, and probably another, let's say 3/4 inch group here. I can measure them all out if I want to. I'm not really all that concerned with it. The Precision Hunter, which was my hunting ammunition, which I used to kill sheep with, worked really, really well. Very accurate ammunition. Dope was good on the rifle all the way out to 500 yards, which is what I was ready for. And overall, this rifle shoots how I expect it to shoot. It's an expensive rifle. These are usually street price. They're looking about $3,300. So the rifle shoots as well as, let's say, it costs, okay? It's consistent. It ultimately shot 3 different ammo types, well below the factory 1 MOA guarantee. They're all match grade ammunitions, and the rifle itself is a modular rifle. It's one of the only on the market that is like it. The only other competitor is the Sako, the S20. However, it's heavy, it has no carbon fiber on it, no frills, a good trigger, you know, good gun in general. It just doesn't quite have everything that this rifle offers. Everything on here is solid. There's no rattle in any of your butt plates or anything like that. Overall, an absolutely awesome rifle, and I think Christensen knocked it out of the park. And again, I stress this, if I was stuck with one hunting rifle for the rest of my life, I would be just fine if it was this Christensen MHR. So if you guys like what you saw today, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you think in the comment section.